everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new HJ, welcome to my channel. And guys, it's happening. It was announced yesterday that HBO Max, currently going to be just known as Max soon, have announced that they are doing the Harry Potter TV series. They're doing 7 seasons based on the 7 books. Episodes and how long they are yet to be confirmed. Even a release date has not been confirmed yet, obviously, because they've just announced that they're doing this. But they're doing this. It's happening. And J.K. Rowling has been said to be executive producing this. And they say it will be a faithful adaptation of the books. I'm not going to lie, I was on Instagram and I saw the video that HBO Max and the Wizarding World put out. I thought it was someone being silly buggers. I don't know why. I thought someone's just made this like a fan-made trailer just to get people hyped. And turns out it was official. And I to be fair, I still didn't think it was until my boyfriend pulled up an article and went, there you go, there it is. And I still don't know how to feel about it. I can see the positives and negatives from both sides. I can see how fans are divided, how some of them are really excited for this because we get to see scenes we've never seen before, characters that had to be written out, other places that we never really got to see, so that would be cool. And I can see the other side where this fandom is not really old enough yet to have a reboot, as we call it. There's so many other stories they could do, and we don't want them to ruin the world we've already created and love so much. And I will get into that in this video because I'm in the middle. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm just using this to express my feelings and I just, as someone who's loved Harry Potter majority of her life since I was probably about 9, 10, and now I'm almost nearing my 30s next year, it's been a whole part of my life with all of it. And to have a TV show announced about a film series and a franchise that you love so much, there's worries that come through that we don't want them to ruin what we've already built. And we want them to, yes, stay loyal to the books, but for me, that means keeping it in the same time era. So the books are set in the 1990s. So I know for one, if I hear a single reference to this time period, like in these 2000s, I will be like, really? I don't want them to ruin the characters that we've already loved. I know it's going to be weird seeing someone else play Harry, Ron, Hermione, Hagrid, Dumbledore. And even for me, it'll be weird seeing someone else play Luna and someone else play Lupin because they're my favourites, and I've gotten to know Ivana Lynch and David Thewlis as them, and they've done a brilliant job of them. And to see that will be really, really weird. And I don't want them to ruin it. I also want them not to ruin the characters that we never got to see, like Winky, for example. Obviously, we've never seen Winky from the Goblet of Fire because they took Barty Crouch Jr.'s kind of side storyline completely out of it. And I don't want them to ruin like the character of Winky, like we've read and we know what she's like, but it's like I don't want them to ruin it. Also, I don't want them to make it all star-studded just to bring people in. It's like I want them to give opportunities to every person. I mean every person. And that comes into the fold of where JK's views come in. Whereas if someone comes into audition for a character and they turned out to be a trans man, trans woman, is she even going to let them audition? Like, I know that's hard to say, and I know it's not fair because we don't know anything about what the casting is. Like, are they going to be even faithful and keep just the British cast? Like, in the film franchise, JK was like, I just want this to be a British cast. I want it to be authentically British. But you're going with an American network, and are you going to let Americans in? I don't know. And I just want... I know they wouldn't do it unless they had faith that they can adapt this as best as they actually can, because when you take something like any series, it's like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Batman and Superman and all these things, they all have a huge fan base that comes from books, comics and things like that. And when you take something that's been loved for years and you try and bring it back, it's the same with Star Wars. either going to work or it's not, because these franchises will live for a long, long time. Everyone's going to know about Harry Potter in like in the year 3000s. I'm sounding like the Busted song, but everyone in the years to come will know. And I get that this is aimed to bring new Potterheads to love the series, but surely their parents were shown the films, read them the books, and they'll love that. And I get this is to bring a new feeling of nostalgia for people, bring new people into the fold of the fandom, and bring new people into the fandom, which is great. But if they do it wrong, no one will hear the end of it if they get this wrong. I guarantee you. And I just don't want them to mess with something. I think most of the Harry Potter fans feel like this. We don't want them to ruin something that's been loved for years, and it's not even old enough to need a reboot. And there's plenty of stories they could have gone with, not just redoing Harry's story. They could have gone with the Marauders example. Everyone that I've seen has commented, we want a Marauders series, and I think that would have been more doable. And I guarantee you might only get like 5-6 seasons out of it, but like each season could be about each of the boys. Like season 1 could be about James's story, like his whole backstory and how he led to Hogwarts, and then Sirius, then Lupin, and then end with Peter. And then season 5 could be like the whole events that lead up to the first Wizarding War, and then in the next season could be the whole events that lead right up to the start of Philosopher's Stone. You could have gone with Voldemort's backstory. I know we get a majority of it in Half-Blood Prince, but that is not enough. And we could have used a whole few seasons to expand on Voldemort. We could have done the founders of Hogwarts, for example. How did they found the school? Where did they come from? Their dynamics with each other, how they built school, and things like that. It would have been amazing to see. And I know Fantastic Beasts have done this, but they've not done it in the way of backstory-ish enough, whereas we get to see an Albus and Gellert story, where we get to see the life of Albus, like growing up with his dad and his mum, and see Ariana and his relationship with Ariana and his brother, and then fold into coming into contact with Gellert and how that all changes. We get to see how his father ends up in Azkaban. We get to see the duel between all three of them that ultimately kills their sister. And that could have been the most amazing cliffhanger in the entire world, is like, who kills her? And would we ever find out who killed her? We will never know. There's so many ways they could have done a different story than retelling Harry's story. I will now say maybe a few positive things that I am looking forward to about this series. Ultimately, the casting. I don't mind seeing who's going to be cast as who. I can see them bringing a few names in. Me and my partner were talking this over last night, thinking, who would they bring in? Like, not all the cast is going to be star-studded. I would like to see new names as the Golden Trio and the Silver Trio and things like that. But if they were to bring people in to play teachers, for example, who would be who? And I ultimately can just see them bringing in Olivia Colman to be Molly Weasley. I can see that. And who else did we say? We said a few other people that I thought, yes. But I can't remember off the top of my head who they are. I really can't. I said they should totally get Hugh Laurie in, because he's a British... I don't think I can call him a British icon, but he's one of the most well-known British actors. And my boyfriend said he should play Quirrell, just because you could only probably get him to do one season of something. And I kind of agreed with it. I was like, okay, maybe. That's who we were kind of talking about. So the casting's always fun. Obviously, the scenes we never got to see. The majority of things that I obviously want are more Marauders backstory, like from the Prison of Azkaban, that they left out, because in the films, obviously, they never even said that they were Animagi. They never even connected anything to do with them, that they made the map. Because like Lupin just suddenly knows how to use this map, and it's like, how do you know? I'm looking at my bookshelf, just like Goblet of Fire, the whole Barty Crouch Jr. side story with Winky and things like that, like his backstory of how his mum took his place in Azkaban, he got out. Half-Blood Prince, just this is going to make me sound like an utter arse. That film is my very least favourite Harry Potter movie, because they made it too rom-commy. Half the stuff was not even funny, and it just lost it. Like, after something, I get like they want to do something lighthearted after Order of the Phoenix, but then you can't really, because that book is filled with so much that it's not a funny thing. It's like, yes, like, we get it. It's like Sirius died, and it's like, we're like, we'll lift it up. We don't want to be doom and gloom, but that's how it goes. I'm sorry. It goes from light to dark, and it's like, to skip over loads of things entirely in that book, I was really annoyed with. Very annoyed with. Mostly that the Tonks and Ramus thing was left out, because all of a sudden we see them together at the Burrow, which was a scene that was never really happening anyway. Like, the Burrow getting set on fire did not happen. And we see that Tonks is not herself. She's not able to change her hair colour. She's lost her abilities and things. And we learn that just because she, over the course of Order of the Phoenix, she developed feelings for Lupin, and all the things that lead up to that. And all of a sudden we just see them together and we're like, wait, what? And even their pregnancy announcement in Deathly Hallows, and how all of a sudden towards the end of the movie it was like, when did they have a kid? When was she even pregnant? It was like they left a whole majority of their relationship out. And even Lupin at Shell Cottage in the final book with Harry, and how he left them and things like that. I would have loved to seen that translated into the movies, but obviously they left it out. That is what annoyed me most, because I think one of the producers said Lupin and Sirius were his favourite characters, but as the movies went on, their scenes went, and I know that's a writer thing, and I know they had to do that, but it's like, if that's your favourite character, surely you would fight for them to be on screen more. I digress. And then also Bill and like all the Weasleys, Bill, Charlie and all that, like, I want to see more of them. I want to see Charlie and Bill, and because of what happened to him in Half-Blood Prince as well, when he gets into that fight with Greyback, and now he's not a werewolf, but he's like scarred and things like that. And that's that storyline with Fleur as well. Fleur gets more screen time. Winky from the Goblet of Fire, like I mentioned, Winky needs to be in this. There's so much that has been left out. So I will say I'm looking forward to that. Like the scenes, the characters, even new locations probably that I've can't remember, but I know we need to see on screen. And I will bring round the controversy of the fact that JK is an executive producer, as I said before. And this is what has fans divided, and it has divided the Harry Potter series and the Harry Potter fandom since all that broke out a couple of years ago. And it's almost breaking the series in complete chaos. The fact that the writer has views that not everyone agrees with, and it's turned into, well, if you support Harry Potter, then you are transphobic. And a lot of people who are trans feel like they can't support Harry Potter anymore. I've seen people putting posts up and saying they can no longer support it. They're selling all their stuff. They are getting their tattoos removed, and rightly so, if that's how they feel. Like, I'm not one to judge. I personally can't let Harry Potter go. I can disassociate with JK, and everyone always says, well, you can't do that. She wrote the books. Like, yeah, but without the fans, she wouldn't be anywhere. Without fans, nothing would be anywhere. Like, Game of Thrones wouldn't have happened if for the fans, really. Yes, the books, yes, but they bought the books and they made the TV series, and they made the TV series because the fans wanted it. Like, all the Star Wars stuff, it's built on a fandom. Star Wars, Batman, Superman, all these things you could think of, they are fan-built, fan-based. They do it for us. And without us, nothing would happen. And I can disassociate her without thinking of Harry Potter, because I don't mention her at all. I buy stuff secondhand. I don't personally buy it, a lot of it anymore. Yes, I went to the Warner Brothers studio tour, and yes, maybe some of that goes into her pocket. But I just can't live without it. I'm sorry, I have to go, because it's just a place that I feel I can be myself in. Like, Harry Potter has helped me make friends. I feel like I can be myself with people I meet who love it, because they're just as geeky and as weird as me, and I just can't let it go. And I think that is one of the things that will stop this series really maybe reaching its full potential. I don't know, because a lot of people have said they will not watch it because JK's executive producing, and I get why she has to be an executive producer, because they need her input. She wrote the series. She has all the knowledge, and if we want it right, she's the woman to ask. But when it comes to terms of casting and things, this is where I'm worried about the actors themselves, about trans actors going in for roles and them not being seen. And I sincerely hope HBO know this and are aware and push against her. If she, I don't even know, I know that's not fair to say because she can't defend herself. This is just my opinions, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I hope there are representations of people obviously playing the characters they want to play based on the gender that they are. I am not transphobic. I'm saying that right now. I am not. I support every person in the LGBTQIA plus community. I defend them I'll see something, I'll defend them every day online. I don't care what your pronouns are or anything. If you're a good person, you're a good person. I will see you as the person you are. I don't care. And that is also what Harry Potter is about, love and acceptance. And that's another thing we need to remember. The cast have stuck up for everyone. They have all said they do not agree with her. Some of them have said they don't see a problem with JK's views. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I get that. When you feel so strongly about something, it's hard to separate the fact that you don't understand how people can't see it's wrong and it's cruel. I've got to stop before I start crying. But to summarise this video really quickly, I still don't know how to feel. As someone who's grown up with Harry Potter all their life, to see it in the hands of someone else and to see other people play the parts that you've known, it will be weird. I just don't want them to muck it up. I really don't. I just don't want them to ruin it. That is my worry. That is the only thing. I just want I just want this series to represent what Harry Potter is. That's what I want. At the heart of Harry Potter is acceptance, love, being who you are, and I want them to encompass that. I want them to have the heart of Harry Potter, and I want them to do it well. And that is it on my opinions of the new series, guys. Are you guys excited? Let me know in the comments down below. What are your worries and concerns, and what are you most looking forward to? I will keep up to date with the series, obviously, because I'm going to be curious. And I will show anything that I can on my shorts. So subscribe if you want to keep updated. And I will speak to you guys in another video.